like, Tika, don't sleep with him, like don't have sex with him. And I was like, I'm trying not to. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Tika, also known as Beautiful Soul. So I know it's been a while since I've done a sit down video. I did tell you guys I was gonna do a sit down video if you've been keeping up my vlogs. So yeah. So for those of you that don't know, or for the people that might have forgot, I've been on this journey where I've been kind of just working on myself spiritually, physically, and mentally. I do have issues, or I'm working through issues, or working through things dealing with depression, anxiety, and all of those things. I do go to the gym a lot to kind of help balance out everything, and that's pretty much all I do, work and gym. So, and as far as like highs and lows, I always have like highs and lows. It comes and goes. I really can't pinpoint when things happen, but yeah, it just happens. Anywho, so let me get into the real reason, the real meat of this video. So I finally want to sit down and talk about basically my roller coaster relationship. And basically, yeah, I fell for the okie doke, y'all. I did. I'm human. I'm a girl in love. What can I say? Like I kind of got played in a sense, you know, and it is what it is. But let me just share my story. So a couple of weeks ago, I would want to say, well, let me just go back, give y'all some background story. So y'all already know, for those you don't know, but basically I've been like on and off again with this guy for like 10 plus years. I know, terrible, right? And like, I mean, we've known each other since we were like teenagers, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like we've like grown up together, like we know each other, you know, we just vibe together really well. And you know, we have our moments where we kind of don't talk, but it's like, I don't know, we always find our way back to one another, and then we always just kind of like pick up where we left off, and everything just be like good, I guess, you know. So we haven't talked in a while at all, no communication, blocked on everything. I think, yeah, we were blocked on everything except for phone, I think, but we didn't contact each other, so it is what it is. But yeah, so we haven't been talking, so I just kind of been using this time to kind of just focus on me in a sense, like, you know, just trying to like become more financially stable. So like working, saving, and, you know, working on my physical health and mental health or whatever. And not really so much of working, like, because since I'm not talking to him, I'm not really like doing anything, you know, physically, sexually, whatever. Like I'm not doing anything, you know, I'm just been chilling. So, you know, basically he popped up out of nowhere. He does stay 4 hours away from me. So he came here, I guess, for work. He said he had some type of training or whatever. Mind you, we had no communication prior to that. So I'm just like, oh my God, like, is this his grand gesture of like wanting to be back with me? Like, I just thought that this was just gonna be like his way of just showing like he really wants me, because like, prior to me seeing him, I had a crappy day at work, y'all. Like it was just like so much going on, like patients and family members of patients, you know, like I told y'all in a previous video that I do, you know, social work at a nursing home. So have your days where it's just like crazy, you know, and that was one of the crazier days. So I feel like my guard was kind of down a little bit, but see, that's how things happen. Like when things are sent to tempt you, or things to kind of to like test you, it always happens when like it's a lot going on. So you're thinking like, oh my God, is this your silver lining? Like, is this like the thing that's gonna be, I don't know, it's almost like you're trapped in a dark tunnel and you think, okay, this is gonna be the light that I'm seeing, like this right here is gonna just make it better, like, you know, at least that's what I'm thinking, right? But yeah, no. So basically, you know, I see him, you know, and y'all, he looks so good. Oh my God, like when I tell y'all he looks so fine, like, oh my gosh. Okay, stop, Tika, you're doing too much. But anyway, but he looked really good. Like he works out too. Like I don't think I work out because of him. It's just that he's always been like into fitness and stuff. Like I don't know what it is, but I just love muscular chocolate men. Like and they love me. But anyway, but yeah, I don't know, he just looks so good, y'all, so yummy. So I'm just thinking like, oh my God, this is his way to win me back. So I just was like, well, let's go out to eat, you know, because I feel like, I don't know why I'm that person, but I feel like you can kind of talk to somebody better in public, you know, know, with food and drinks, like maybe that kind of like loosens them up and get their guard down, especially with him. Like we've always had good conversations. So I'm just like, okay, well, let's go somewhere, because I know if we go inside my house, one. So I was like, let's go get something to eat. Now, we went to a Cuban restaurant, and you know, margaritas. First of all, I cannot handle tequila. Like tequila, I'm gonna be all the way real with you. Tequila makes me horny and emotional. So remember those two things, horny and emotional. Especially cheap tequila. Like Tika cannot handle tequila. So anyway, I got a margarita, I ordered empanadas, and then and he wasn't really saying much, you know. So I'm like, okay, hey, so you know, did you miss me? Like, what made you just pop up on me? Like, you know, you could have been anywhere, but you decided to see me. Like, you know, just trying to feel him out, like trying to get him to have conversation. He was just like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, like, are you gonna say more? Like, y'all, he wasn't saying much of nothing. So me, I'm getting upset. So I'm just drinking. Mind you, these cups are big, the margarita cups, and it's like, it's straight up tequila. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it might have a splash of margarita mix, but it was mainly tequila. And then I didn't eat. All I had was the empanadas, who was still waiting on our food. So, and then too, I don't drink like that. Like, y'all know, I'm not really a drinker. And if I do, I drink brown. So you know, by this point I'm buzzed, and then I could just feel myself getting emotional. Because what does tequila do to Tika? Emotional, horny. We're not horny yet, we just emotional. So I feel my eyes just like starting to swell up. Like I just feel myself about to cry, because I'm like, okay, like this is your moment to tell me like that you love me, that you want to be with me, that this time of us not talking has made you realize that I'm the girl of your dreams, and like you want to marry me and you want to move me somewhere, or you know, just something. Like I'm just thinking like this is like your big moment, like, you know, like in the movies where like one of the main characters realize like all this time that they've wasted, like they belong with that one person, so they run to them and try to like make things work. I'm thinking is that, y'all, don't get caught up in romantic movies, because real life ain't nothing like the romantic comedies, I'll tell you that. So I didn't want to cry in front of him, so I was like, I ain't about to let him see me cry. Like he ain't about to see me cry. So I grab my phone and I go to the bathroom. So I'm like bawling, crying. I call my best friend, she doesn't answer. I call my cousin, she doesn't answer. I call my best friend again, she doesn't answer. I call my cousin again, she doesn't answer. So I'm like, none of these bitches answering, and I'm sad. And this guy is like, he got me in here crying and emotional. Like, why doesn't he want me? Like, why would he play me like this? Like, why would he come all the way here? Like, he should have just left me alone. Like, if you don't want me, like Fantasia said it best, like if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Like, free yourself, like leave me alone, you know? Like, you know how I feel about you, so why would you do that, you know? So anyway, I dry my tears as best as I could. Now mind you, I'm already drunk, so my eyes are glossy and they red, so it just looks like I was crying, but I'm trying to act like, oh, I'm just drunk. So I go back to the table. By this point the food is there. He's eating like cool as a cucumber. And that's another thing too, he's very nonchalant. Like he's super like, he's very laid back. Like he's super laid back, and that's one of the things that I like about him, you know. He ain't one of those loud dudes. He's very laid back. But sometimes that laid back stuff can kind of annoy you, because it's like, bro, you too chill right now. I'm drunk and emotional trying to figure out what's your purpose of seeing me. Meanwhile, you sitting up here eating your dang on Spanish rice and freaking jerk chicken like it's nothing. Like, you should not be eating. You should be professing your love to me, not eating. So no, that didn't happen. So by this point, my cousin, Jessica, hey Jess. So my cousin Jessica, you know, calls me back, and I'm like, I gotta pick this up. So he already sees it as Jessica. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm just like, Jessica, like you won't believe what happened. She's like, so the first day she's like, girl, you drunk? That's one thing about me. If I'm drunk, you're gonna know I'm drunk. So she's like, are you drunk? I was like, Jessica. She's like, calm down, Tika, breathe. What happened? So I'm like, Jessica, it's here. She's like, what? And I'm just like, yes, he just showed up. And mind you, y'all, this is like a Tuesday. So it's like, who just pops up on a Tuesday? Just showed up, and you know, I decided to get something to eat, and I'm thinking that he's gonna profess his love to me, and he hasn't said anything. He's just sitting there eating his food like nothing happened. And she was like, okay, Tika, I know how you get when you're drunk, so I need you to relax and calm down. Like, she was just like, breathe, girl, relax. So I'm like, okay, I'm breathing. She was just like, okay, so you need to talk to him. Like, you need to have a serious conversation. She was like, because, you know, no one should just like think that that's okay. Like, if y'all haven't been talking, like, why would he think that's okay to just pop up on you? And I was like, I know, and he knows how I care about him. Like, don't do that unless we had some type of agreement to say like, oh, like, well, we're not together, but every time we see each other, it's on. Like, if we had that type of agreement, but we don't have that, like, I couldn't do that with him. Like, my feelings are too strong for him to do just that with him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, he would literally have to just leave me alone. That's the only way. Like, I would not be able to resist him. He would have to leave me alone. So I was just telling her that, and she was just like, well, stop crying. Like, just have a conversation. I was like, girl, I'm drunk, and he looked good. She was like, oh God. She was like, Tika, don't sleep with him. Like, don't have sex with him. And I was like, I'm trying not to, but it's been so long, and he looked so good. She's like, don't have sex with him. Don't have sex with him. And I was like, okay, I won't have sex with him. So, and then I was like, oh shoot, I left my key in the house, and I just realized, I'm like, oh my God, my house key. I had my car key, but not my house key. Long story. But anyway, so I didn't have it. So luckily, my best friend has a spare key. So I was like, I gotta call her. So then me and her talk, and I'm like, girl, and she's like, Tika, like, once again, Tika, are you drunk? Yes, I'm drunk. What like, I'm drunk. Put up here, and I thought he was gonna profess his love to me, for me, and he did it, you know. And she was just like, okay, Tika, well, first calm down, relax. I still have your key on my key ring, thank God. So she came, so she was like, I'm gonna just meet you there. And I was like, all right, cool. So I go back to the table. By this point, like, I think I had a second margarita by that point. I now the night gets fuzzy, y'all, because dumb drinks are so strong. Like, you really, all you need is one, but my slow stuff had two, and I barely ate my food. So I like packed up my food, and I'm just like, you know, and I heard the waiter say something, but I didn't know what the waiter said, but he ended up telling me later that the waiter knew I was drunk. So he was like, is she okay? But I think also too, you see my eyes are red, so you know I probably was crying too. So because it almost looked like low-key, like outside, if I was somebody else sitting at another table, it almost looked like a breakup dinner. Like, he broke up with me, and then like, but he's eating his food like nothing, like like just chilling. Me, I'm just like looking ugly, you know. So he ended up taking my keys from me because I was like, I can drive. He was like, I don't know, but I knew I couldn't drive. But it's just funny. It's like, why is it that drunk people always think they can drive? Like, get in the passenger seat. So he took my keys or whatever. We're driving to the house, and so we just in my driveway, just waiting on my best friend to come. And by this point, I'm really drunk. I don't know what all I said to him, to be honest with you. All I know is that I was like, I know I said something along the lines like, you know, I love you. Like, why would you just show up here? Like, you need to explain yourself. Like, don't you realize that we're supposed to be together? Like, all this back and forth, like, we need to just cut all this out. Like, we just need to just be together. Like, I want to be with you. Like, I love you. I'll do anything for you, whatever. I don't know all I said, y'all. I know I said some stuff along the lines of like, love, whatever, like, let's just be together. Like, why you playing games? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't remember everything I said. I do remember that he ain't said nothing. Like, I just see him just looking like you can tell the wheels are spinning, like he's listening, like he's taking in what I'm saying, but it was like he still didn't say anything. And that's how just like, you know, and then I think I might have asked, like, is it someone else? Like, if it is someone else, like, okay, be with that person. If not, if you keep coming back to me, then clearly you want to be with me and not that person, you know. Oh yeah, I gotta do this order. But yeah, but I'm like, you know, so if it is somebody else, okay, screw them. Like, we can be together. Screw that person. So by this point, my best friend pulls up, and it's like almost like she pulled up at a perfect time, because like I was feeling myself about to start crying again. So I get out of the car, and y'all, she pulls up with her whole family. Like, her husband's driving, the two kids in the back seat. So now I'm getting even more emotional, because I'm like, oh my God, you brought the whole family out the house. And mind you, y'all, she just had her second baby. So like, you came out to come over the door for me on a Tuesday night, and I'm drunk. You got all your kids and your husband. Now they're gonna think I'm just some crazy drunk. And she's like, Tika, calm down, relax. She's like, go see the baby. So I was like, so I, of course, sniffed the baby, the newborn. I don't know, I love sniffing babies. And then I kiss on, you know, my goddaughter, Bria. I love that little girl. So I give her kisses. You know, she play hard to get, but she love it. And then her husband said something. Now he's deep Jamaican, like his accent is so thick. So like he said something, y'all, I have no idea. He said, oh, fresh. I don't know what he said. I have, to this day, I'm gonna have to ask her what he said, because I have no idea what he said to me, you know? And so then that's on me. So the guy is still sitting in the car, and I am, you know, so now we're at my front porch, and me and her just talking. She unlocked the door for me, and she's just like, Tika, just talk to him, you know, just see where he's. I was like, God, but I've been talking all night. He ain't saying nothing. Like, this is so annoying. I'm like, I was like, I call her Toon. So I'm like, Toon, I was doing so good. I was like, I've been working on myself. I've been praying. I've been reading. I've been going to church. I've been working out. I've been eating right. Like, and then to have this roadblock, I was like, you know, I was like, why is this happening? Like, why? Like, I was like, I get, you know, sometimes we're tempted, but it's like, okay, why would he do this to me, knowing how I feel about him? Like, I would think he'd have enough respect for me to just leave me alone than to like disturb my peace knowing how I feel about him. And she was just like, Tika, you're too drunk to have a conversation right now with him, but you need to just have a conversation. Like, just talk to him, like, you know. And she was like, and don't have sex. I was like, he's the second person to tell me not to have sex. And I was like, but you know how tequila gets me, and he looks so good, and da 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 da. And she was like, Tika. And I was just like, oh, for real? I was like, you know what tequila does to me? I'm like, so she's just like, girl, get it together. So by this point, you know, me and her hugged or whatever, and I was just like, okay, girl, I'll just talk to you later. And she was like, she'll check on me later or whatever. And Charlie showed his behind, because like, that's another thing too, y'all, which is so crazy. Charlie is obsessed with him. Like, when he's around, Charlie ignores me. That's everyone who knows Charlie. Charlie is my shadow. So when he comes around, it's like I don't exist. Like, Charlie like be all over him like a baby. Like, it's so crazy. So he saw me come back in the house, but he didn't see him. So he ran out of the house, and he's looking for him. Like, where is he? Where is he? You know. So then that's when Charlie finally sees his best friend. So I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, whatever, screw both of them. And so I go take a shower, and I just lay down, because I'm like, by this point the room is spinning and I need to lay down, like, you know. And so then he takes a shower, and which I should have kicked him out. I really should have. Now looking back, I'm like, why did I let him stay at my house? Like, I literally should have said, get choked and get gone, you know. Like, you like I'm like, where are you going at? I should have been like, where are you going at with that little hoe bag? Like, put that hoe bag back in the car, like, you know. So yeah, I didn't. I gave in to temptation, and yeah, that was that. So the next day, of course, since I told you it was a Tuesday night, a Tuesday, so I had to go get ready for work the next day. He ended up having to go back home, because I guess his training was over with. He just had training that Tuesday, and I guess he was just gonna stay overnight up here. So I ended up making breakfast. Now, I don't think I was cooking breakfast for him. I eat breakfast for myself. It just so happened, like, I'm the type of person, like, if I'm eating, I'm not gonna let you starve. So I fed him too, of course. But mind you, y'all, I'm still upset because we still haven't had our talk, but I'm just like, whatever, like, we'll talk later that night. So you know, say our goodbyes, whatever. And like, that was another thing too, like, he was just like, you know, kissing on me. So like, he's kissing on me, I'm kissing back, like, I'm like, I love you. Like, he's like, I love you too. So like, in that moment, I'm thinking like, okay, this is good, like, this is it. So then at that point, you know, okay, we go separate ways. So later on that day, I was like, hey, we need to talk. Like, we need to have a serious conversation as to what we're going to do, like, what's going on. So I think he's like at home making, and I don't know why this sticks out to me, but I was just like, he was making a pulled pork sandwich, I think, or whatever. And like, he was just like, yeah, he just like into making whatever food he's making, like making all type of noise. I'm like, hey, we need to have a serious talk. Like, what's going on? What are we doing? So then he was just like, well, relationship is not my main focus. Like, I'm just focusing on getting myself together and all of this. And, you know, I'm not really concerned about a relationship. And in that moment, I wanted to go, like, a part of me was like happy that he was honest with me, but the other half of me was just like, bro, why couldn't you tell me this from the beginning? Like, why go through that whole thing of coming to see me? And because your job paid for you to stay at a hotel, like, you could have just used your per diem to stay somewhere. You didn't have to come to my house, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. So I'm like, what made you do all of that? Like, what? And I was just like, you know what? Okay, screw it. I was like, from here on out, since that's what you want, do not call me, do not text me, don't come to my house, don't do anything. I do not want to hear from you ever again, because you played me, like, you tried me, like why would you do that knowing how I feel about you? And you just, and then to then wait till you get back home to say that, like, you couldn't say that here, like, you literally kissing on me, looking in my eyes, all this stuff, like acting like there was something and you knew it wasn't that. Like, that to me kind of blew me, like, and that's how I was just like, dang, like, I really gave into temptation. Like, I really allowed my emotions to take over, knowing that that person has been showing me their hand all this time. And I think I'm the type of person, until you actually say it, I guess, I don't know if that's some people, but it's like, I needed to hear you say it. I need to hear you say you do not want to be with me. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but it's like in that moment I need to hear him say it, because it's like your actions are not adding up, you know? And so in that moment I was just like, well, I had to accept the fact that, like, I got used in a sense. Like, I mean, you knew how I felt about you, and I don't know, he may have feelings for me as well, but it's like, you knew your feelings weren't the same as mine, so you should have just left me alone. Like, you should have just, like, because you knew what that would have done to my mental, like, what that would have made me think. So it's like, why? Like, you know? But it is what it is. Like, I learned my lesson from that, basically. Like, y'all, when people, because that's the thing, like, people try to spin the block on you, try to do all these things, but it's like actions speak louder than words. And it's like, go off of how that person is acting. Like, if that person ain't been reaching out, showing that they care, doing little stuff like that, then don't expect much from them. Like, and my thing is too, like, we're all working on ourselves. So to say that I'm working on myself and a relationship is not priority is like, grow up. We're all doing the same thing. It's like, if you really want to be with somebody, you can work on yourself while whatever else, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. And two, like, I don't know, whatever, it is what it is. So I had to just accept that, take that L, and move on. So I say to others, y'all, just because you care about somebody, don't just think that you have to be with that person. I mean, granted, I keep like basically stumbling and bumping my head with that situation, just because I'm the type of person, like, I kind of stick with what, like, if I invest in something, like, I like to stick it out, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but, you know, but it's like, just like, time doesn't mean anything. That really don't mean anything. Just because you've been with somebody for a long time, that don't mean, like, oh, that's gonna be your husband. Like, if that person, people show you how they are now. Like, if they're not showing you that they actually want a future with you, don't waste any time with that person. Like, leave. Like, why are you wasting your time with somebody who's not even give you a real dream? Like, they give you a half a dream or selling you whatever. Like, if somebody want to be with you, they'll do. It don't matter what you have, what you don't have, how you look, how you don't look. If they want to be with you, they'll make it work. Period, point blank. So it is what it is. I learned my lesson. Hopefully my situation will help somebody else, because yeah, we can't be out here being sad over somebody who don't give a crap about us, you know? But so this is something that I'm still dealing with, because it still kind of stings, just thinking that, you know, somebody that I fully trusted, and it's like, this isn't the first time I trusted someone close to me and they kind of like stab me in the back. So it is what it is. I guess it's just more so like, I didn't think he would do that, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, out of all the people, like, you try me, you know? So it is what it is. But anywho, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below if you've been through something like this, or if you dealt with something like this, or you know somebody dealt with something, or if you have any advice, real advice, not bull. You know, so I'm all ears. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye.